The Fortress is an overstable control driver from Westside Discs that still has a good bit of distance. Let's take a look. Let's start with the feel. So the feel of the Fortress, it's a 10-speed, so it's that control driver slot kind of in between the fairway driver and the distance driver. You try to get the distance of a distance driver with the control of a fairway driver, and this one does pretty well. It does have a bit of a deeper rim than some of the other fairway drivers I've reviewed, but I don't think that messes up the release for me. For me, it makes me feel like I have a confident grip on the disc, but if you do have an issue with deeper rims, I would definitely watch out for that. This disc here is in the VIP plastic. The VIP plastic is fairly grippy and very durable, and discs in the VIP plastic tend to be just a little bit more overstable than the same disc in the tournament plastic. So for the flight on this disc, it's an overstable fairway driver. Not as overstable as something like the Audi, but a little bit more overstable than something like the Boatman. So for me, it didn't have any turn out of my hand, but it still had a good bit of distance before that reliable fade. So on a hyzer release, it was a good control hyzer. I could throw it out there fairly far, probably around 350 feet, and it would just hold the hyzer and then spike into the ground or skip depending on the angle. If I threw it flat, I could get a little bit more distance out of it, out to about 400 feet, where it would fly very, very straight and fast. This disc handles power really well. I could power up on this disc and throw it as hard as I want to and not worry about it having any... It might have a little bit of turn if I threw it in a headwind or something like that, but it's certainly not going to get unreliable to where it works too far to the right. It just held the angle and then had that reliable fade. And when I threw it flat, because it had a little bit more of a glide to it, it's going to have a little bit more skip. It actually got me further left than on the hyzer release. And then I really wouldn't use this disc for an anhyzer release. It's fairly overstable, so it's going to kind of flex out. And unless I needed that shot for like in the woods or something specific, I probably wouldn't throw this disc on an anhyzer. So what shots would I use the Fortress for? For me, definitely forehands. This disc feels really good in my hand for a forehand. It has a nice clean release, and I could probably get it anywhere from 280 to around 330 feet and just have that reliable flight, the reliable straight flight, and a good fade at the end. On backhands, I could use this disc anywhere from 350 to 400 feet, or I could throw it on that flat line with a good fade or a big hyzer, or even if I'm trying to get a little more distance, I could put just a little bit of flex on it, but probably just a straight flight or a little bit of hyzer. Definitely a useful disc for those open shots that you really need to put close to the basket. So that's what I think about the Fortress. Let me know what you think about the Fortress in the comments down below. Let me know what shots you throw it for and what plastics you throw it in. And I'm actually going to give away this VIP Fortress to my favorite comment down below. Let me know what other Westside discs you think I should review here on the channel, and I'll leave you with an excerpt from the Finnish national epic poem the Kalevala about the Fortress.
Wainamoinen, ancient minstrel, then began his wondrous singing, sang in gentle tones of magic at the entrance to the mountain. At the border of the stronghold trembled all the rocky portals, and the iron-banded pillars fell and crumbled at his singing.